some like connections, my fault, connections, with socially sound. Oh my god, I got me messing up.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. A lot of like artists use their music as a way to portray like social issues such as like BLM or gun violence or different things about mental health, and they use that kind of as their like escape. Like a lot of people use music, and either whether you're listening to music or you're creating music, you're using it kind of as like your escape. Is that kind of what you're trying to say?
Facts. See, you get me. I don't gotta. I can just finish. You can just finish my sentence. I'm like, you know, um, there's a lot of artists. My personal favorite would be Juice WRLD because like there was like a lot, of different. Like I was saying before. You know how like music is there's like deep. What you call it? There's like deep. Brianna, you gotta finish it. Come on. What you doing?
Deep deep meanings behind certain songs.
I appreciate that. There's like a lot of meanings behind it. So like, Juice WRLD, there's like a lot of his songs are like, about, depression and stuff. And like he uses that as a way to like, help people get over their depression. And it's kind of sad, like the way he died sometimes. But like, it's really, he was a really good artist when it came down to that. Like, when I used to be sad, or I was down or whatever, he would like be a perfect person I would listen to. So, like, that's probably gonna be like my favorite one yet.
Yeah, especially I feel like I didn't really listen to a lot of Juice WRLD songs, but I do know of them. And so like J. Cole and Juice WRLD, I feel like go hand in hand when it comes down to like lyrics, because they both make sure like their lyrics, their storytelling basically, especially J. Cole. Like the way that they describe certain things, like it's not just about listening to what they're saying. I mean, it's not just about like the beats and like the money that they're making off of it, but more or less like actually understanding what they're trying to portray through music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I had one of my friends on this podcast right now, like this entire conversation, he would be basically controlling it. I know Juice WRLD basically because of him. He is the biggest name when it comes to like Juice WRLD. Any type of song meaning that he has, it's basically like down in his mind and just like, alright, with Juice WRLD though, yeah, like how you guys said like how most of the songs are emotional. Yeah, cause I feel the main reason why Juice WRLD hits as much when you're listening to it is because like some people, right, you can relate to what the song is talking about sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because he talks about realistic stuff, like
that's what I'm saying.
All these relationship type stuff, like this is stuff that happens to real people. This is stuff that hits people, and then
like real life experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's
and so hearing that someone else can relate to it, I think that's why he hit home for so many people because people can relate to his songs, and that's why I feel like that's why he hits us hard.
I think when like artists do that, I think it makes their songs like easier to listen to and like more like you start to like mesh with that artist more and like I can't put it into words, it's just like a feeling.
Yeah, I feel like
No, you can go. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, it's okay.
Alright. I was gonna build off that. You know that what was that one song? I don't know the name of it, but it was like that one suicide prevention song that blew up. Like what was it? 2018, 2017-ish.
Was it like his huge break?
No, I don't remember.
Was it Dreams?
No, it's not just one. It's not just one. It's like that. I want to be alive song. That one.
Oh
yeah.
He put the number as his. I don't want to be alive.
Oh yeah, that's
that's one example of like this hang for people because you saw how like suicide rates were spiking, right? That song came and it was like something for people to relate to show that it's still hope, right?
That was one of the biggest songs in that year, I think.
Yeah, because it just spread really awareness.
I don't think even if you couldn't relate to it, it was like you just understood what he was trying to say.
Like you can understand what they're trying to get to with the song.
It was one of like that's probably one of the best examples of that topic. It's just he how you say this? He executed that song so well, and like it was really easy for people like to understand. and like feel what he was trying to come at, and then like people who knew what he was talking about, and like it's just
Yeah.
It's like how it shows how like music can like impact mental health. Like you see some songs, right? Like say like how we've been talking about all this, right? You can
Yeah.
be in one type of mood, and then like you can listen to like one playlist, and it can completely change up your mood sometimes.
exactly like, and I think my mom used to say this. She was like, the things that you feed yourself, like not like feed yourself like literally, but like
Yeah, yeah.
like the music or like the movies that you know that you watch or listen to. I think
Yeah.
that affects like how you like your mood or like your body or like your mind or whatever. Like certain songs, certain sad songs probably get you down even faster, or certain happy
Mhm.
songs probably get you happy like even faster. And certain
Yeah.
movies or this and that. But, like it's just
Yeah.
like with that, like certain songs are really strong in terms of that. And I think like songs like let's see, Pharrell Williams, "Cause I'm Happy," probably like a really happy song to listen to, like get their
Yeah.
spirits up. So
Yeah, a lot of definitely I agree with like the music that you listen to affects how you are going to be, like how your mood is, because like a lot of people tend to listen to sad songs when they're sad, and that'll just make them think and realize about more things that they've been just sad about, and it just kind of all comes crashing down. But if you're listening to like happier songs while you're sad, it's kind of like a change, like just like
yeah,
a whole mental change. Yeah.
Yeah,
because I think we all know. I thought I know you keep going.
Yeah. No, sorry. What was it? Like, even some people, like, people joke about it sometimes, right? Like, how you see, like, what's it, like, how you have, like, all those sad memes, and then you have that one song, what was it, from, I think it was Tokyo Ghoul, right? Where you have that umbrella song just, like, playing slowly in the background. It, like,
No, I don't know
people,
what you're talking about.
I'll send you, like, it was, like, Unravel or something, right?
I know what you're
Like,
talking about.
Yeah, so people joke like, oh yeah, those type of songs like will always make you sad, but the thing is they actually do sometimes. Like you can be in one type of mindset. The moment you hear that song, it's just like the rain once something goes bad, like something goes down, and then the rain just starts pouring, like that's when you know, yeah, that's not my time.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, let me I can
Let me just
get
get up here.
you're back. Like I don't have to give up here. Like I still have some time, and I think those different songs like that. Like for me personally, I got a whole playlist. It's called "In My Feelings," PP, which means think positive. But like it's kind of interesting. Like it's a really good song. It's mostly made like Juice WRLD because it's kind of sad. Like
Yeah.
it's really crazy because it's supposed to be a song that gets me happy, but it actually gets me even more sad. I don't know why I do this to myself. Kind of weird. But like
Nah,
it's just.
I feel like
I didn't hear
sometimes people like even when you're sad, like sometimes like people want to listen to music. I can even experience this myself, right? Like I'd be like so down, right? And then like you turn on a playlist, and then it's just like all my sad songs are playing. Like you feel like you feel like the playlist will get you happy, but then sometimes it just hits you harder, and it's just like it just makes you more upset, It can just hit you.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think more like what I said in the last part, like what I said in the last episode. Music is really powerful in terms of like doing, like making change, or like changing you, or like changing yourself, or changing like a whole different event. Like say, let's see, what's this song called? The Lil Baby made it. It was called like Bigger Picture, something like that. Those are like that was like a really strong. That was like a really strong song. That was like really impactful. So
Yeah, the song by Lil Baby, the name, yeah, it was The Bigger Picture. It was by Lil Baby, and like it's like it tells us the effects of gun violence on the people affected. Like it tells, yeah, it's like it tells them, it tells people how they feel mentally, cause like a small verse in the song, it says it's too many mothers that's grieving, they killing us for no reason, and like, it means that the mothers have been experiencing some of their children dying to gun violence, and now like they have to live with it forever.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
like
that reminds me of something. what was it? Yeah, this is one song that, like, as soon as I said that we're gonna do an episode about social issues, the one song that popped up on my head that I feel like perfectly describes social issues, or like, well, what I say was like the most like important social issue for me is At the Police, and like, bro, no
Yeah.
cap,
I
the
know
whole
this song.
song,
That's like really, that's a
It's-
really strong
the
song.
whole
Yeah.
the whole group actually the NAA, right? Bro, the whole
NAACP?
group.
NAACP, yeah.
No, not the NAACP.
Oh, you talking about the music group? I'm like, what
The music group.
It's NWA. I say
Uh-huh.
NWA, yeah. So like that whole group basically, like, they actually made a movie. It's like Straight Outta Compton, right? And like it's basically like trying to express like how black people are inside the current generation. And like when I listen to that song, like At the Police, right? It's crazy because like, you know, when they had a lot of problems, what we still have now, right? Because I see a lot of social issues now with like this one police officer literally got on top of a girl that was just walking, right? And like locked his feet behind her feet and like pushed her to the ground and took off his camera. And like, you know, you can still see these social issues today, but like when I listened to that song, I was like, so the same problems they had back then and the same feelings of like, you know, resentment and annoyance and, you know, anger and, you know, just how they like indignation of the injustice, how they felt back then is the same thing that we're facing today. And it just like makes me realize that America really doesn't know how to like change. Like
Yeah.
America's gonna keep on doing the same thing
I
over
mean,
and
if
over
you really
again.
think about it, if you look back in history, you can even listen to songs going back. You always see there's always a common, there's always like a common like factor. There's
Of
always
division.
problems with like the way people are with each, like the way like there's always a problem with people who are different. No matter how
Exactly.
like it's literally the country made of immigrants. No matter what, there's still always a problem. So it's just kind of ironic, to be honest.
Yeah, and
Like-
especially it feels like we're going in like a circle. Like
Yeah.
we get somewhere good, and then we go back, and then we get worse, and then it's kind of just like a never-ending cycle at this point, and it needs to end because it's just ridiculous.
Exactly. Like
But
it-
the thing is though, like the thing is, what I realize is this: how it ends is like how you end it will affect the cycle again, because
Yeah.
like if you peek, bro, every single society, right? Though this is going back to global history, but like every single society, right, before and possibly even after, if anytime when there's like a revolution built on violence and built on like, you know, hate, you will always get the same society again. The best example is the French Revolution, because you saw what happened. What did they really do? They only kept on fighting with each other for 4 stages until they got back to the same monarchy they had before, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
And now they still have problems today. The American Revolution, they literally tried to kill people with a war, and then we have the same problems of
the
injustice. that
American,
they
to me, the American Revolution, they freed themselves from the British, but like they just locked
It's just
themselves.
British people fighting against British people.
It's, I don't like. I'm not saying like that's like it wasn't, but it's just we freed ourselves. Like that was good enough, but we just caused more problems. Like you never,
That's
you
the
know,
point.
I don't remember, like you
Mhm.
know, I don't think there was.
Mhm.
No, there was no. That doesn't matter. Okay, well, that's something else. That's something else for a different day. But I
What
was
were you
saying like
saying? Oh.
no, it don't matter. It don't matter. I was saying I'm just trying to say like we freed ourselves from the British, but like we're caged from our like we're from ourselves. I think I'm gonna say it's like we're held
Like,
back
we
from,
keep
with
ending-
ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we are doing this to ourselves. That's what I'm trying to say. We
I think,
do this
yeah,
to
I
ourselves.
get what you mean. Yeah, kind of in a sense where it goes back to the circle because, like, we end up getting somewhere good, and then I feel like violence just always plays a part into things like this because people always try to be like the human race in general, like prone to trying to be the strongest, trying to be the best, and trying to just do things when we all just need to just be together in one way. But that's hard in itself. Like even in smaller communities or places that look like they're doing great, that's still like they still have a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Like you were trying to say, like there was a circle. Like I'm thinking every time we solve a current problem, there's always like another problem. Like I think, like just violence is inevitable when it comes
Yeah.
down.
That's what I was looking for.
The way we work the way the humans like act and stuff, it's just really, it's really inevitable. Like there's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be fighting. There's always going to be people who always disagree, and there's always going to come down to where we get separated. And we're never like truly one like race or one human race. Just like all together. We're all like on the same team. Like this, there's probably like there's always huge events that like pause that for a little bit. Like probably let's say space race. I don't know, like everyone probably came together for that. That was like a very important part in like American history. Right after that, right back to problems in the U.S. Like a whole bunch of violence and this and that. So there's never really like a stop to it. It just pauses for a little bit. It just looks like it's over. Then there's a new problem arises, and it's just kind of sad to be honest with you.
And especially with music though, like how I just keep going back to J. Cole because I feel like he's just such a great representation in that sense where he's a great storyteller and he allows like what the song is at the end of the day. Like what he's talking about. Like it's clear what his intentions are when it comes to certain songs. And so it's like
he's a very good artist when it comes down to that. His music is very inspirational, and his music is just like it's just really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think one song, what was it called? It was a very recent song, "Pride Is the Devil." That song. That song is I think that's a really not inspirational how you say this? It's a song it's a very relatable song because there's always people always have pride. People always have pride
pride in what way? Like what do you mean?
Trying to prove something to people, and I think that's what causes problems.
Yeah, that's because the human race in general, everyone's just trying to be the best. Everyone's trying to get.
There's always a competition. There's always a competition. Thank you. There's always something. So someone always has to try to be better than everyone else. Something like that.
Yeah, it's just. And I feel like the media also plays a part in that.
Yeah, the media definitely. The media nowadays. Oh my god. Media. The media
yeah, in general, it's just instigation. Is that a word? I don't know, but
go on the media without finding something new. You post something, problem after problem after problem after problem.
I just feel. Sorry, you can go.
No, keep going.
No. I feel like the media is just like you already have a problem, right? And then the media is just time to enhance this problem because they're gonna go into all the background. You're gonna go into everything, and that's just gonna gaslight more things.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I hate about the media. It's just if one thing gets out, everything is just screwed.
Yeah, it's cancel culture. Exactly.
Too.
Since music is so powerful, when you link that to media, it just gets even worse. If you make a really really controversial song, you're not gonna hear the end of it. It's always
going to be someone that has something to say about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wait, what were you saying, Ethan?
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that Lil Baby and J. Cole is one of the few rappers and who does a rap that really looks at black culture and other things in the world.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's very few artists that don't care about what the media has to say, and that's what separates them.
You can, a good example would probably be that don't care about what the media have to say. It's gonna be kind of crazy. So I'm gonna say the Baby, what's happening right now. His music, Like
Yeah,
what he said, it's like he's an artist. He's supposed to say be respectful and whatever. And like what he said is like very like what happened. He's
Yeah,
like,
but I feel like that's in a completely different way. Like
wait.
Wait, what did the little baby say?
he was
He
saying,
said something about like LGBTQ or something like that.
yeah, but he was saying homophobic things. Like he's not caring in a different way. Like his not caring.
I lost you. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like they don't care about what how stuff happened. Like I thought.
Oh, you're talking about in general?
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
Oh, okay.
Like, not caring what the media has to say in like a good way, not caring. Will probably be like what you said, J. Cole or like Lil Baby, because they're focusing on like problems that people don't like talking about. People
yeah,
like
exactly.
It's a very
That's
sensitive
what I was
topic.
trying to. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I was
No,
like,
Wait, I can't say that. I think that would be a good example because like he don't care about nothing.
I was like,
Yeah,
that's
like,
not really.
Lil Baby and J. Cole, or even even like if you go back in the past a little bit, some other black artists like Tupac or what's his name, Eazy-E, or what else?
What is
I'm
that?
about to say Martin Luther King Jr. I'm so sorry.
I don't think he was lying back then.
Imagine he was a rapper. Imagine.
You
But,
can
like,
say
they
Jay-Z
were-
too. You could say Jay-Z too, though. Like, my sister recommended me this one song called "The Story of OJ." I guess it's like really popular. I didn't listen to it fully, but like I heard that like it shows something about like social issues and stuff like that.
But yeah, that like those people, they don't really care about like if they're gonna get canceled or not. They just want to raise awareness about like what's really happening in the world right now.
And that's how it should be, truthfully. Like, if you love what you're creating and if you love, like, what you want to do, then just do it. And make sure that there's a purpose to it, you know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Music nowadays has changed. Like, it's changed a lot. Like what I said in the last episode. It hasn't changed for the better because you don't see, like, music before, like earlier music, like past music, like what Jaden said with Michael Jackson in the last episode. Like, there's nothing like, you don't hear those types of songs like a lot anymore. You still hear them, but they're not as
Not as
I guess you could say that we forgot our story, bro.
yeah.
For real. That's perfect. Because a lot of people aren't going back and they're doing whatever their label says for them to do that they think would like gain them the most money instead of like raising
They
awareness.
don't care about like past or whatever.
It's like I feel like what they're doing is this like. I feel like just copying and conforming to the like what society wants them to do because a lot of music back then, the whole point of music was to go against the power, but now it's like we're just following what they want. So if they want drill rap, we give them drill rap. If they want songs that just don't make sense, we give them songs that just don't make sense. If they want songs about women, sex, and violence, right? Bet we're gonna give them women, sex, and violence.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, heartbreak songs, right? Like a lot of music tells stories, but I feel like we've been saying the same story for so long. Like say rappers is that we start forgetting our old one. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of times we just feel like, oh, the story's already been like told like millions of times. Everyone knows about slavery. Everyone knows about this, but no one's changing. We need to keep on making music that one tells our natural story. Like, bro, I can make a whole song. Like, bro, what I like so much about Caribbean music is that they can make a whole song about a hammer, and it will be bumping. And you're like, bro, how did they make this song? Because they're just saying it from their actual experiences. They're like saying their own, like they're giving their own life story through their music instead of just saying. A lot of music, like a lot of people just make music about like, getting money, right? But they're still living in apartments. Like they're still living, what I mean? Like they're saying that they got Blends and stuff like that. They got Rolexes, but
There's like so many. There's so much.
A false truth. It's not the real them. When they start making songs,
they don't like what Brianna said. Like, this is the bad version of They Don't Care. My fault. This is not the good version. They don't care about like how people. Well, no, my fault. They care about like how they care about their image. They want to like create this like what you said false image that like people think they're doing good or they're getting a whole bunch of money. They have guns, they have girls, they have sex and all that. That's all they care about. They don't care about helping the world and making a change because they see all these problems happening. They look at it. They know it's there, but they just don't care. Like nowadays, it's just only about the money. There's
Katia,
only
though,
a few
how you feel
select
about
few
that?
artists. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was asking Katia, how you feel about that though? Like with the current generation of artists, like kind of like forgetting their stories or not saying it.
First of all, it's Jakaya. And
Aya?
yeah,
Bro,
it's
I've
not
been reading your
Jakaya.
name.
Jakaya.
Bro, I
Oh
need to
my
get
god.
This is awkward.
It's okay, I'm used to it. Anyways, I was gonna say that I really agree with you about how music doesn't really have meaning anymore. Because I feel like most people, that's why so many new artists are coming out, because a lot of people think that they can, do this because they see other people do it. Like, you could literally rap about nothing in a song and it will blow up,
Mm-hmm.
which
Word.
makes other people do the same thing. Like, you could rap about literally nothing and it will get millions of views and you'll get money. So it's more of like a money grab than people actually putting their heart and their soul into songs like how they used to do.
Exactly.
It's not even just rapping at this point anymore. Like if you see like this generation of music, like say like the one thing on TikTok where it's just like screaming, like they just screamed into the mic with a high pitched Vocaloid, that blew up. But it's literally just screaming into the mic, like it doesn't make any sense anymore. At this point, it's just like I just make a random beat, or hell, some people steal beats now. And then
Exactly.
and then just put it out, and then they only care about money now. No one cares about putting out a story when it comes to music anymore. It's all money, or if they try to put a story, eventually they'll get canceled for saying that story because the internet is just like, no, you can't be saying this. The internet.
You gotta
I
be
feel it-
really.
I feel like
Yeah.
at this point you can't talk about some stuff because it's just the internet that's going to end up canceling you for no reason. Like, if you mention
Yeah.
anything remote to LGBTQ or racism nowadays, you will be canceled by the entire internet. Media will come after you because all the fans are pissed at you, and it will just keep going on because. And some people destroy careers like that. It's not even just in music, like game development, just like YouTubers, anything. Like if they hear one thing that just doesn't fit their taste, they will get a mob army,
Yeah.
pitchforks and knives, and they will come after you.
You know what that reminds me of though? Justin Bieber. Like, okay, so y'all might be saying Justin Bieber, maybe, no. There's one song. He made these 2 new songs, right? And he says, "Where do I fit in?" and "Afraid to Say," and it's about like cancel culture. And like, what I feel like though for cancel culture, this is for the whole like group. Like, I could talk about this, right? Is that cancel culture isn't benefiting people because the thing is, if cancer, I get the meaning behind it, right? Oh, if we put this person on fire, then it will send a message to other people that this is not acceptable. But the meaning behind that is wrong because the whole point is this. How are you going to start condemning someone if you're not going to teach them how to do it? Because now if you're going to keep on like saying, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, then everyone's going to be uncomfortable, right? To say anything. Like me, I used to be very uncomfortable of like saying anything about pronouns or like, the LGBTQ because I just didn't understand it. I didn't want to say the wrong thing, then I'm going to get canceled. It should instead be this, because no one gets mad at a baby for mispronouncing a language. But now in this cancel culture age, if a baby were to mispronounce a language, like to give like an example, everyone will start getting mad at that baby for even saying words.
I feel like this goes back to when we said like people don't care like nowadays when it comes to media and stuff. And at this point, like I know this is very controversial to say, but at this point I'm slowly starting to agree with them in their way of just not caring. Because at this point, no matter what you will say, it will always come back to like you can say something like look, even with some YouTubers too, like you can see like there was whole Technoblade situation where he said on Twitter, was Hitler a lesbian in 2014. They will go down everything you said, and they will find some way to harass you. So I'm slow like
They're not giving room for growth, basically. They're not teaching you what you should do to shame.
And then, like, look, I use Twitter because, like, I'm trying to go to see news and stuff, and then I see all this, and their reasoning for it, we're trying to educate them. Like, I don't think, like, even with, like, anime stuff now, this is slowly going off topic, I know, but, like, but look, with, look, some communities, right? For example, the My Hero Academia community, they sent death threats to the creator because they wouldn't make the characters gay. Like, they doxed his address and everything. It's like, you can go look up a whole documentary on it.
Okay, but the thing is,
like,
I feel like
no matter
I feel like I don't think you're doing this on purpose, but the way you're speaking, it really sounds like you're demonizing the LGBT
I'm not.
community.
Yeah, I'm
not-
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, let me talk. Not everybody is like that, and 90% of the time, the people that are doing the most and attacking these people the most are people outside of that community. Now, for example, I feel like this is gonna be controversial. But I feel like white people, there are so many white saviors out there, and they feel like they need to do like performative activism. So most of the time, when someone's getting attacked, it's not the people in the community. It's people who feel like it's their job to be woke and to be these people that
I'm sorry how
it's not even.
Yeah, I'm sorry how it sounded like I was like demonizing the community. Like I'm chill with the community. Like I'm chill with them. I have multiple friends like that are LGBTQ, but it's just like you like I don't mean to demonize. Like I don't mean to make it sound demonizing, but like how it is at this point, like how you see the internet, like at this point, like it's basically affecting the community itself. Like how I'm trying to put it.
I don't think Nico was trying to say
I think it's definitely like what he was trying to say got like lost. Like, yeah, because I feel like that cancel culture tries to make. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just like
that definitely is the problem because when, like I said, it's not really the people inside the community; it's people outside the community, and then they see those people attacking them, and so they associate that with the LGBT community or whatever community that was affected. That's the whole problem.
And I feel like cancel culture plays into that in a sense where because they're trying to make everyone like them and they're trying to make everyone that I feel like cancel culture just makes everyone so basic. Like
cancel culture, it's like it's their way.
It's like it goes up against diversity, if you could say.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really funny to me. Like they cancel the stupidest things. Like whatever. I'm not gonna name it, but I'm just saying like. Why don't we cancel racism? Why don't we cancel discrimination? Why don't we cancel, things that actually affect, what's wrong with the world?
But I have to say though,
I don't understand. Like Jakaya was saying, I don't understand. Like it's never the LGBTQ community. They're like I understand they're not like that. It's like what she was saying. They're not people. They're people who think they have like the right or. They're supposed to do it because it's their calling or whatever, and I don't understand that. So it's very funny to me how like they cancel like what pronouns or like being like you can't say this or that, but they don't cancel things that actually like cause problems in the world. Like
they do cancel like what is it racism and stuff like what is it? There was just actually this one person I think like Hillary Clinton or something, some person that was running for like president or like inside the political field. And they had like a lot of racist comments, or even comedians or something like that. They like, or some other people, they had like racist comments, or they said something that was like offensive, right? But this is the thing that I'm getting back at cancel culture for is this: if they said that before, why are you trying to like, of course, bring it up so that to see if they change? If it's like Trump now. And he's like literally just saying, I do not like black people. Obviously, we know he does not like black people, so we're always gonna be like saying, Trump, you gotta change, right? But like, if Trump in the future, he literally is supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. He's trying to move forward with it, right? Like, let's say God changes his whole soul, and he starts doing that type of stuff. Then, when we bring up this like cancel culture, it will literally bring up something that he changed, like something that he was like not even like a different person how he is now. They're bringing up to him like in the future and trying to condemn him for that type of like thing that he did before instead of trying like appreciate or notice the growth he has. Because a lot of political people, they may have had a racist comment back then. Like, let's be honest, a lot of us had like a lot of like offensive or racist or even homophobic comments when we were in elementary or when we was in middle school. Like really, like, let's be honest, we all said "Ayo fire." We was like, "Oh, that's
okay." Well, see that's the thing. That "Ayo fire" thing, that was never, Oh God, no! I hate you. No,
I feel like that's different because when we were in elementary school, we didn't know better, and we mostly copied stuff that we
gotta realize.
But as we get older, it's our job to know. Okay, this is right. This is wrong.
Yeah,
it's
our job. A lot of people don't know.
Like, let her talk.
Sorry.
No, I was done. You can keep going.
No. Like she was trying to say. We gotta know, like what she was trying to say, like we gotta when we grow up, like she said, we were when we doing that, we were young, we didn't understand what we were talking about, and we have to like teach our kids, or when we get old, we have to teach ourselves or learn from someone else, that's not the right thing to do. We have to.
But
You
how
know,
are you gonna
find
learn
out-
if every time you try to learn, right? They always condemn you for it. That's what
That's
cancel
the
culture
thing I
does.
hate about them. Like you, can,
That's what
it
I'm
could
getting at.
be months after a situation. Like you could say, let's say you say one homophobic thing that you didn't mean to say. Like it got put out that way. Like you didn't mean to say it like that, but it came out that way, and then you got attacked for it. You can
I mean,
be.
then
you'll
at
get-
that point, it's just all about perspective.
no,
be honest.
no, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
People can take it the wrong way when
Yeah.
it's when it wasn't that way. Like probably I don't know. Like
Yeah.
people just it's how people take it. That's one, and then it's two how people like how you say it. Like
It's not just
if
that
you
though.
say
Like
something a certain way,
yeah.
people are gonna react a certain way. So you can't expect them to not.
yeah.
But if people like if they take it a certain way based on how they were raised, like if I was okay, my perspective is different from all of your perspectives. Like we all don't agree on the same things, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna cancel everything that you hate or you're gonna cancel everything I hate. What I don't understand is that everything that they disagree with, they have to cancel, or everything that doesn't make any sense to them is wrong in the world. That's what I don't get. Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
I was trying to get at before, right? Like, because it kind of cut me off. Sorry, but like, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's alright. But like you could say one, like back to what I said, like you could say one thing that came out as homophobic, but it didn't, right? And then you can be like, alright, I'm trying to move on from this, right? I'm trying to change. Like you start supporting the community, right? They will go back and they will keep coming at you for it. That's the thing I was trying to get at earlier. Like you,
Yeah.
like, it could be over a year actually. Like I've seen instances where this happened for over a year, where someone got attacked by all this stuff for over a year, just because they said one thing that came out the wrong way, and that's how like from before, it could ruin someone's whole career because no one's gonna want to take an opportunity with someone who has that high of a platform if they keep getting attacked from said platform.
Yeah.
How would they grow to like love or try to understand something if they're always hated for like trying to understand it? Not even with the gay people, but even there's some things like what is it? There's this one thing I was trying to do. Like I taught every time when I try to learn Japanese, right? Like I feel like there'll be like every time when I try to like speak or I'm trying to find a Japanese person. But anytime when I feel like I'll speak to, I feel like I'm like going to offend like Japanese people if I try to speak their language, like if I mess up, right? Because like how we're taught in school is you should try your best to be perfect, and perfect is getting everything correct and being always in like form, but that's not perfection. Perfection is completion. So when you're like in
school
math,
is flawed, so
when you're in math, right, the whole point of you learning is that from your mistakes you learn what you need to work on and you continue to grow. So when you get to the end of school or like college, right, you are proficient at math, or at least you understand the basics.
yeah.
So when we go into like talking about like fandoms, or we go into talking about any type of culture or niche, like let's say like the Spanish culture, like I'm a kind of afraid to speak Spanish to some Spanish people, or say some like or like actually like ask some questions. Like when I talked to you, right, Timothy, on the last podcast, and this is where you see how this is the opposite of cancel culture and what we should be doing. Timothy, instead of like being mad at me saying you think I think it says Guyana, right? It was Guyana. Yeah, you think Guyana's in Africa? I can't believe that's so racist of you. And then he would bash me on that podcast, and I got canceled. But instead he said, "Bro, nah."
Yeah, that like, I understand what you're talking about, because like what you're saying, like there's really no room for growth in this like day and age,
I've
and that
actually
people they don't give you a chance.
I feel like it's because like when you're older, like this goes back to what I said. Like I feel like they don't try to educate these people, like the baby, for instance, because he's a grown man. He should know that what he said was wrong.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like if he was younger, like 15, then people would have been more understanding. Even though I feel like that's still old, but he's a grown man. Like he needs to know to take accountability, because what he said was wrong. And like, even at that point, there's no point in educating if you wanting to be ignorant. Because he has Instagram, he has social media, he knows what's wrong to say, what's right to say.
But with that
in
whole
this day
situation,
and
he
age,
was-
definitely. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just gonna like disagree because he was, and like even with his quote unquote unofficial apology, he was still being ignorant and being just disrespectful. Like, he never officially took back what he said. Or he was like, oh, you know, I said what I said, but I said it to certain people. No, even if the words that are coming out of your mouth are homophobic, it's still homophobic whether you're speaking to one person or 1,000 people.
But you have to, like, the thing with cancel culture, what I realize is this. It's two sides. One, the community, and also the person in, like, subject. The person in subject has to not be prideful, as Timothy was saying, like, early in the podcast. They have to forgo their pride, right? And forgo their ignorance and actually say, I am ignorant and I need help to understand more so I can be intelligent, right? But then the community, instead of condemning them for their past mistakes, should be accepting of them and say, that, so let me teach you. If one side is ignorant, or if one side keeps on holding on to their ignorance, or one side keeps on holding on to their hate, we're not going to get anywhere.
I feel like there's like, you know how there's the 5 stages of grief? There's the 5 stages of cancellation. What, like, this is how I always thought of it. Step 1, you say something slightly offensive. Step 2, you try to come back, you try to, like,
Apologize.
Apologize, taking your pride. But then it deteriorates from there. Either A, the community forgives you, then you just continue to improve on yourself, and then everything is good. Or then the second path, the community continues to condemn you, and then most of the community is destroyed. Like, it all depends on your community, basically. Like, you can have one whole community, right? And depending on, like, how the people's mentality is in that community, it will be like determining your fate. It's because you can never, like, secure your fate if you, like, mess up on something, and if you're a big celebrity.
Like, so, like, here's the thing, though, right? On my phone. You can go.
This really shows that music is about expression, and lately our society is trying to limit people's expression by putting limits on what they can say and do. But
Straight up facts.
that's all the time we have for today, so we're gonna end this podcast here. Thank you for listening, everybody, and I hope
Thank you for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye.